Good evening. Welcome to Kara Olmurani. I'm glad to be your host today. And today I want us to talk about our hashtags. And one of it is support, the other one is report, and the third one is protect. So, my question today is going to focus on what happens when a survivor opens up to you as the first person, because whatever you do will really determine a lot in their lives. They will be able to talk to another person or rather just shut down completely. So we have two kinds of survivors, and the first one is from fresh incident, the other one is from a past incident. But in our case today, we're not going to look at you, the one that they're going to open up to you, but rather as the first person. So when it is a fresh incident and a survivor comes to you or walks up to you, let's say even if it's on the road and they're telling you what they have just undergone, the first thing you're supposed to do is to help the person to report the matter. Therefore, you find that the evidence is still intact and a lot of the evidence can be gotten, and that means the perpetrators can be brought to book. And at that moment when they're opening up to you, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of insecurity, they think they're followed up, or rather the perpetrators want them dead and all that. And keep on assuring them about their safety, about the perpetrators are no longer there, and you also advocate for their good. So the next thing to do is also to protect the survivor by ensuring that they are safe from the perpetrator. So if it happens in the place where they live, you help them relocate if you're in a position to. If not, you get them to a safe house that they'll be able to get a lot of therapy sessions, and then meanwhile, as the person is in a safe house, you can plan on how they can relocate to a better place, or rather you can link them up to a relative that they feel safe with, because change of environment helps in healing too. And now that is when it comes to a fresh incident. I've not talked about support. I will touch on it later. So in the past incident, if someone walks up to you and you're the first person they are talking to, when they're talking to about the tragedy that befell them, but this happened in the past, the first thing you have to notice is that definitely they didn't go to they didn't report it, because now you are the first person they are telling. So you will know if they are comfortable, or you can ask if they are comfortable to report the matter or not. And it's important for them to report, but at this time we don't have a lot of evidence apart from, let's say, if the doctors can do more of finding evidence, let's say DNA and all that, or it can be the word against the perpetrator. So the survivor at that point really needs a lot of assurance, protection. Maybe they're seeing the perpetrator within the area or within the environment. So when they keep on talking to you, when they come to talk to you as the first person, remember they first find you safe in order to speak out to you. So just ensure you help them change from the environment, because the perpetrator might be in that environment. And also advise the person to seek medical attention. This might be past 3 days, and therefore you might find that if there was infection, it's already there. We're talking about HIV/AIDS, and then if there's pregnancy, let's say the survivor is a lady, so there's also pregnancy in there. So just help them to seek medical attention in order to ensure that some of these infections, the STIs and any other infection that they can get, are treated in an early stage. Now I'll go and talk about support. I feel support is the biggest thing you can give to any survivor, whether it's a fresh incident or a past incident. And the easy way to support, the first thing is to hear the person out. Don't be in a rush. Sometimes it's hard. They might freeze because they're still thinking about what happened to them. So just hear that person out. Have that time and just give it to them. And then the second thing is believe the person. There's nothing as hurtful as someone is trying to tell you what happened to them, and you're like, it's impossible. Most of the times when you hear these incidents out, you realize that there are some things that are beyond what you could have thought could be done to a human being. But at the time that the perpetrator is defiling the person, the thoughts and the things that the perpetrator is thinking definitely are not godly, and they're thinking about the extreme things that they can do. So, in as much as it might appear not to be real, it doesn't mean that it didn't happen. So, believe the person, at least give them that benefit of doubt. Hear them out, let them know that you're believing them, and then allow the survivor to break down. Tears release unspoken pain, that pain that the survivor is not able to actually put it in words. They're able to let the tears flow through it. So if they're able to speak that portion that they're able to speak, let them speak, and that portion that they're able to cry it out, let them cry it out because of their healing. And when they're narrating this to you, don't cut them short with words like cool down, or in Sheng, people can say Isa, something like that. Just let them have that right to break down. At least if they're venting through breaking down, it's better. We have other people who went through breaking things, but now this person is breaking down. Let them just break down and then continue when they're able to. Don't push them to speak that which they do not want to speak. Don't push them or minimize them by not giving them enough time to speak. That way they will go with still some unspoken words, and that might also amount to some pain. And another thing is assure them. Now, when it comes to assuring them, we have some things that you can speak that they're the daily things, but you keep on telling them over and over and over until it clicks in their mind. Words like, you are safe. It might be like, it's just something that you can say. You can tell someone you're safe at home. You can say anything. But when you keep on telling them, you're assuring them, you're building their confidence. And that means they'll be able to feel that safety that they want to feel at that moment. Then it's also important for you to assure them, because it will make them feel human again. Because in that process of defilement, most people die at that point. I'm not talking about the natural death. I'm talking about they give up everything. They're like, it doesn't really matter what happens next in my life. There's a person who is dying internally. So most of them die at that point, and even if they get out of that tragedy alive, their lives will never be the same. So, and that is also depending on the things that are done. We have different perpetrators with different perversion, and so different things being done on them. So that animosity makes the survivor not to be able to feel like human again, because their rights have really been torn apart, not only just been trampled upon. Then when they freeze as they speak to you, they are remembering what happened to them. You can find a survivor saying, and then he, or and then she, and then they freeze at that point. That is the place where you can give them, you can assure them just with these words. You can tell them he's not going to hurt you anymore. You are in safe hands. And this also happens in court. Let's say a survivor has gone to court to testify, and they see the perpetrator and they're not able to speak. At that point, this is where you also speak these words to make the person feel safe. You can even give them a breathing exercise. Like, you speak the words, and then when they come down, you tell them, okay, now let's breathe together. You breathe in and out. This seems to be very small things, but it's in these small things that confidence is built in the survivor again. And also check out on their non-verbal cues. Check out on their intonation. There might be anger. We have facial expression that might suggest other things. We might also have their body language, the way they conduct their limbs, their hands and their feet when they are telling you all this. So check it all out and be able to just talk to them, just to assure them at that moment when you feel that they're feeling uncomfortable. Some of the times that the stories are shared, at the point where they're shared, you find that some of the survivors also experience fear, because when they're sharing, it's like they're reliving again that experience. So you keep on assuring them that now they're in safe spaces and they're able to do and they're able to live again. They are free, they're away from the perpetrator, and that perpetrator will not hurt them again. And also assuring this person makes them feel secure enough. So I will read from the Bible, the book of Ephesians chapter 4 verse 32. The Bible says, be kind and compassionate. Otherwise, sorry for that technical issue. So always remember to handle anyone you meet in a kind way, in a compassionate way, and that way, when you meet a survivor, it won't be a new thing to you to be kind to them and to be passionate and tender-hearted to them. That is all for today. Always remember TEAL. Hashtag is TEAL, and another hashtag, report, support, or protect. Thank you, and God bless you.